Renewable energy sources, harnessing the power of nature. The escalating concerns surrounding climate change and dwindling fossil fuel reserves have propelled renewable energy sources to the forefront of global discussions. Among these, solar and wind power stand out as two of the most promising alternatives. Both technologies leverage naturally replenishing resources, sunlight and air currents respectively, offering a pathway towards a more sustainable future. However, despite sharing the common goal of reducing carbon emissions, they differ significantly in their implementation, efficiency, and overall impact on the environment and infrastructure. Understanding these nuances is crucial for informed decision-making regarding energy policy and investment. Solar power. Utilizing photovoltaic, PV, cells, or concentrated solar power systems directly converts sunlight into electricity. A major advantage of solar energy lies in its versatility. It can be deployed on a large scale through expansive solar farms, or integrated into individual homes via rooftop panels. This distributed generation capability enhances grid resilience and reduces transmission losses. Conversely, the primary disadvantage is intermittency. Power generation is dependent on weather conditions and daylight hours. Cloud cover, nighttime, and seasonal variations all impact output, necessitating energy storage solutions like batteries, which can be costly and have their own environmental footprint related to material sourcing and disposal. Wind power, conversely, employs turbines to capture the kinetic energy of wind and convert it into electricity. Wind farms, often located in coastal areas or open plains, boast a high capacity factor, meaning they can generate significant amounts of power when the wind is blowing consistently. Furthermore, land used for wind farms can often be simultaneously utilized for agriculture, minimizing land use conflicts. However, wind energy also suffers from intermittency, though it's less predictable than solar and can sometimes operate at night. A key drawback is its potential impact on wildlife, particularly bird and bat populations, requiring careful site selection and mitigation strategies. Comparing the two, solar power generally requires a larger physical footprint for equivalent energy production compared to wind. This makes large-scale solar projects potentially more disruptive to ecosystems. Wind turbines also face aesthetic concerns from some communities, often described as visual pollution, and can generate noise. In terms of cost, both technologies have seen dramatic price reductions in recent years, making them increasingly competitive with traditional fossil fuels. However, the initial capital investment for wind farms tends to be higher than for solar installations, although operational costs are generally lower due to less frequent maintenance requirements. Ultimately, the optimal choice between solar and wind power isn't a simple one. A diversified energy portfolio incorporating both technologies, alongside other renewables like hydro and geothermal, is often the most pragmatic approach. The ideal mix will depend on geographical location. Areas with abundant sunshine are naturally suited for solar, while windy regions benefit from turbine installations, as well as local environmental considerations and grid infrastructure capabilities. Continued innovation in energy storage and transmission technology will be vital to overcome the inherent limitations of both solar and wind power and unlock their full potential as cornerstones of a sustainable energy future. Vocabulary list. Questions. Choose T for true or F for false. 1. Both solar and wind power rely on finite resources that will eventually be depleted. 2. Distributed generation. a characteristic of solar energy, can improve the stability of the electrical grid. 3. The primary disadvantage of wind power is its reliance on consistent sunlight exposure. 4. Energy storage solutions are only necessary for solar power, as wind turbines generate electricity continuously. 5. A higher capacity factor indicates a more reliable and efficient energy source. 6. Land used for wind farms can often be utilized for other purposes like agriculture, reducing land use conflicts. 7. Solar power installations generally require less physical space than equivalent wind power projects. 8. The initial capital investment is typically higher for solar energy compared to wind energy. 9. Aesthetic concerns and noise pollution are potential drawbacks associated with wind turbine installations. 10. A diversified renewable energy portfolio, including both solar and wind power, is generally considered a more practical approach than relying on a single source.